Hey, I think it's on.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Ben.
I'm Jane. We're the Backyard Carpenters.
Baby boomers can do. Are we a little high there? But anyway, today we got a bunch of projects to do. Jane's got to put a second coat on the cane-back chairs. It won't be cane-back anymore.
Oh, and I'm going to be painting this screen door, and he thinks that I can't paint it in place. I'm not real sure why, but you know, it's just a door. So I'm going to paint it and it'll be done.
Also, I'm going to be working on starting the little
Landing
deck that's coming off the shop shed. That's what I'm doing. And so that's, we got a pretty busy day, and it's supposed to be like 94 today.
It's going to be rather warm out here.
And notice that she's got something in her hand. I've always worried if Dr. Pepper went out of business, what would happen to my wife?
I'd be a very grumpy lady.
She'd be a grumpy person. So loves Dr. Pepper. But anyway,
Nothing
so
like
we got to get started.
See ya.
Oh, well, what I'm doing is I'm setting up to be able to put our little bitty deck that we're going to have out front. It's only going to be 12 by 6. It's big enough to be able to hold this machinery, saws, paper saws, whatever in the future. So I've already got it mapped out and where we want it to be. I'm starting to set up my combo saw, and now I got to get my This is material that's worth gold. At least you need a lot of it to be able to buy this stuff now. But that's the material that's going to be used to make this deck. And we mapped it out with some pegs and silver paint because we ran out of orange marking paint. But this is where it's going to go, right here. So that's what I'm working on. And Jane, although she really says she don't like this color, she said it's not red, isn't it? Anyway, she's painting it early so that before we leave today, we can actually put the seats on. Looking forward to that. So we'll have some chairs that we can sit in inside the shop shed, and then in the cool of the evening, outside on our new deck at the shop shed.
But they may be painted over.
Do what?
I may paint them over.
Oh my word. Once those seats get on there, baby, you ain't putting no more paint, baby. No more.
Red should not be hard to mix up. Why is red so hard to mix up? Did anybody see it? This was green. It's not red. True red. It's not.
Okay.
It's like a brick red.
All right, so she's had her therapy for today.
Yeah. I vented, so now move on.
Well, what I've, what do you mean how am I dressed? I'm dressed to work on my farmer's tan. I got my sleeveless shirt on and I got my shorts on. But anyway, after putting up this 2x6 right here, I realized that, which is that threshold brace, is got to go for right now. So that's what I got to work on next. What I have decided that it would be easier for me to cut out a gap in this 2x6 instead of trying to remove the threshold support. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. And I realize that my blade is not deep enough. Alright, so what you saw me do is I actually took my circular saw and plunged it down into the material on that line and came across. Okay, the decking board that I'm going to be using is 1 inch thick. So I ripped me down a piece that's 1 inch thick, and I've put it right here as a gauge. Now I'm getting ready to use, let me get it, this is an impact wrench, okay, with a galvanized lag bolt with a washer. All right, so I'm going to start on this end and make sure that I got 1 inch all the way down. Yeah, we need to be concerned about level. 1 down, 5 to go. What I'm using to be able to pull this up to where I need it is I'm using some clamps that I attach right there at the doorway, and then now I'm lifting up with the clamps to be able to, well, there you go, be able to do this next lag boat. Two down, 3 to go. My base form. Now I got to do a thing called making sure that it's square. So I'm going to take my tape and go diagonally across, right, to make sure that I'm square. Alright, 161 3/4. Alright, 161 3/4. So I'm going to write that down. Alright. Now, I'm going to grab it and do the other diagonal. Good, it's 162.5. Right now, 161.5. So I got to do the other direction. Jimmy, you're singing too loud in there. Jeez. So I'm 161.5. I'm now what they call square. Okay, to emphasize, my microphone wasn't on, so let's kind of review what happened. And yeah, I look a little real redneck today, but anyway, trying to work on my farmer's tan. Anyway, I took the tape from diagonal to diagonal and make sure, and it ended up being 161 5/8 going diagonal. Now that's what they call being square. Now I got to do my centerpiece, and we're gonna have lunch. The next thing I did is I actually put one of the deck boards, which is 1 inch, thick, which is usually they're 3/4, but this is 1 inch because they're deck boards. And when I put them down a little later, I'm going to be just as tight as possible because they will, with time, shrink and create a crack. So you put them down. Now, see the 4x4 on the ground? Next thing I got to do is put the 4x4s in the corner just to hold the structure up while I continue to put these cross braces on before we start putting our decking. And next time I'm on camera, there will be a surprise. Alright, so what we're in the process of doing, since we're just doing to the lay of the land, Jane's going along. Sorry. And I'm cutting each one of these little 4x4s to length according to the lay of the land, and then Jane is screwing them in place. So that's what we're doing. So I'm about to make a measurement over here. It says it's 8, so I'm going to cut one more at 8. And also, Jane is using the impact wrench. I think this is her first time. She likes it. What do you mean, how am I dressed? Next, we're doing our decking, and I hope I can get close enough so you can see it. But you always do bark side up. Alright, so the curves are going this way. See, they're going that way, which means that's the bark side. So you want to do bark side up, because if you don't, they'll cup and collect water. So bark side up. Notice that we had to put a clamp on this board because these boards are notorious for being warped or bowed or whatever. So you have to have them just as tight as possible because they are treated boards, and unless they've been sitting out for about 3 or 4 months, they're going to shrink. So they're going to create a crack. So you're trying to make the crack just as small as possible by doing that. Okay. So what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to use this circular saw to cut this out, so I'm going to plunge into the material.
This is going to fit right up against the shed as the last board on the landing. Looks cool, doesn't it?
Now I finish it out with the saber saw.
There we go. Let's see how it fits.
We're looking for the red dot. There it is. Alright, so we have one completed deck. There's Jane in our, we found these, came back bottom chairs on the side of the road, grabbed them. Jane painted them 2 layers of red paint. She was in a real bad mood saying she was going to paint them one more time, but I think they look fantastic. I really like them. We just used some scrap material, went out and got some foam rubber and material that matched. So I think that looked gorgeous. But anyway, so Jane and myself were able to complete this deck, which now this is where we'll put the equipment on, and in the future we're going to have a roof line. So let me show you one other thing that Jane did. Anyway, so she started the first layer of the screen door that she's painting in place, and I'm sorry I didn't come around and photograph or video her painting them in place. So she's got like her first coat. She's got some more to do, but I needed her to help me with the deck. So that's what it's looking like out there. Look at that. Yeah, we really like the chairs, and Jane really does a good job on painting. And I think that they actually match the red of the flag. So, until more.